See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I see me. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She's killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got a video for you of an albino hyena talking that feminist independence crap, and this is they can't accept their masculinity. These modern women cannot accept that they are masculine. Okay, it's not just this little thing and that little thing. You're masculine, honey boo boo. You masculine, boo boo kitty. You masculine, albino hyena. You masculine. Let me share my screen so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. And then we're going to come back and cook. So here we go. And here we go.
Women nowadays are just too masculine.
No, women aren't too masculine nowadays. The problem is that you associate success, strength, and independence with masculinity. And so the independence makes you uncomfortable. Here's my question. You want to complain about women being too independent when you've proven time and time again that we can't be dependent on you. He says later in the video that no man wants to battle a woman for dominance. But who's battling? We don't want control over you. We're just no longer willing to share control over ourselves. He says, don't let society trick you into believing that being soft, kind, nurturing, and allowing is a bad thing. And we know that being kind isn't a bad thing, but we also know that we're no longer obligated to be kind to you. So it's not a question of masculinity versus femininity. It's a shift from need to want. And that independence means that women no longer have to accept the bare minimum from you.
A lot of women nowadays are just too masculine.
Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing. Let me come back. Sound familiar? Does the drivel sound familiar? Didn't I tell you this is where chocolate hyenas get their playbook? They get it from the albino hyena. Right? Told y'all this is where they get this stupid stuff from, this strong and independent. It's dumb. Everything she said in that video was stupid. Women are masculine. You just associate strength and success and as masculine, and independence is masculine. Yes. Those are masculine traits. The strength is definitely a masculine trait. That's number 9 on the male nature chart. Strength. You become independent when you can do the first 4 on your own. That's where independence comes from. Little lesson, little tip, my little masculine ishas. A little tip. When you can do all 4 for yourself, that is what makes you independent. That is why men can be independent and women don't, because men can do the provision on their own. They can do the problem solving on their own. They can do the protection on their own. They can do the procreation on their own. Well, that's the only one that they can't do by themselves. That's the only one that they can't do by themselves, right? Let's just be real. But women can't do the other three by themselves. Procreation is the only one that need both. Women need men's provisions. And you can think, no, I don't, because I got a job. Who created the job? Who created the society where women can work? Because trust and believe, there have been societies where women couldn't work, and men dictated that. So you can problem solve on your own. Not all the time. Not really. Not when problems become complex. You can't really problem solve effectively because you don't have the effective amount of foresight that allows the problem solving. You don't have, women do not have the analytical thinking and the linear thought that problem solving requires on a regular basis. And when I say problem solving, I'm not talking about simple stuff. What do I do about, stuff in the house or my personal stuff? I'm talking about complex issues that require the foresight. A lot of women don't do it because men problem solve for the future. Women only think about problem solving when the problem is there in their faces. That's the difference. Men will problem solve for problems that have not yet arisen, but they think that it might, or it's a good chance that this particular problem or this particular set of problems may actually arise due to these set of circumstances or these decisions that have been made. Whether they're my own decisions or somebody else's decisions that I have to deal now with the consequences of them, right? Protection is something that all women look to all men to provide. And women either look for men to do that one-to-one, or women look for men to create a safe society that protects them, i.e. police officers, i.e. a military for a country, i.e. a fire department, all of these different, paramedics, all of these sorts of things to protect them. I remember on college campuses, there used to be little kiosks where you could punch a button and it would call the police for you if you felt threatened or something was going on campus. And this was especially before there was cell phones was a big thing, right? So women look to men to do the first four. This is why independence, when women are talking about it, is stupid. Because women only reach that level of so-called independence because men create the circumstance to allow it. And when you have to depend on somebody else to create circumstances that allow you to do stuff, you're dependent on that group or that person. Just like children are dependent on the parent. Children depend on the parent for those four things: for provision, problem solving, protection, and procreation. If they don't get that, then the children don't become independent. They become faulty. They become traumatized. They become deficient in some area. That's what they become. Because they were depending on a structure that would allow them to flourish. And that structure was missing or deficient. And if society breaks down, if those things, four things break down right now in society, women are going to have to do what? Depend on a man one-to-one to get them, because she's not going to be able to do it herself. If society falls, where's your job? Do you know anything about survival? Do you know anything about bushcraft? Do you know anything about building things? Do you know how to start a fire without a lighter and a match? Are you comfortable with not being able to keep up with your hygiene all the time if the society goes awry that far? Like, do you know how to hunt? And if you don't know how to hunt and fish, do you know how to clean the fish or the game that a man hunt and fish for you? No, you don't know how? 21st century woman, You don't know how to do that? Right. And you would have to depend on who? Men. And you would want the society to go back the way that you were able to operate, but you didn't build that society. Men did. I don't know what it's going to take for women to understand that. She spewed all of the negative feminine garbage that has women neglecting their posts. It most certainly is about masculinity and femininity, because the thing about it is femininity. This is how feminism, not femininity. This is how feminism convinced women to abandon the post of womanhood. The first thing that they did was pedestalize masculine traits, such that the masculine traits over here trump the feminine traits over there. And not really, not to the point where you should be abandoning those feminine traits if you're a woman in order to have masculine traits. Let the men have masculine traits, whatever. Because it's not like the feminine traits are not useful or not necessary. You're a woman. You got to have those traits. And if you don't have those traits, it automatically becomes something masculine because you are trying to come away from that. So everything on that female nature side has been demonized except for hypergamy. And y'all do that wrong. Modern women do hypergamy wrong. It's wrong the way that y'all do it. Y'all do not know how to do it. So all of this other stuff is demonized unless it can be turned to selfishness, beauty, use your beauty to, usurp something or manipulate something or something like that. But all of this other stuff, submission and power and passing on the culture and nesting and insight, all of this stuff is demonized by feminism. So the first thing that they did was pedestalize everything masculine, such that only masculine traits had any value and feminine traits didn't have any value. Minimize the feminine traits, minimize submission, minimize the ability to pass on culture, minimize her insight, minimize women altogether. That's what feminism actually did. It did the very opposite thing it said it was going to do. It said it was going to empower women, and it really stripped women of everything that made them powerful, because it removed them from womanhood, moved you over to masculine traits, while at the same time trying to rob those traits of the energy of masculinity, which doesn't make any sense. Then tried to make the traits universal so that there's no energy or expectation attached to them. Then go on to demonize the male natural tendency to control. We just don't want to share control over us. But that's how men lead. You just got through talking about emasculating men, talking about some, we can't depend on you. Since when? Especially albino hyena. When y'all had that problem? When have I ever heard y'all complain about that? Since never. Men have a natural tendency to control his environment and the people within his environment. This is always taken as some type of negative, toxic trait, but it is not. It is not. Men like to control things because they're the leader. They're responsible for what happens in their environment. So they have to be able to exercise some level of control over it and over the people who they invite in their environment or allow to be in their environment. And if they can't exercise any authority or influence over those people at all, then those people should not be in his environment, because you don't want to be influenced by him. Right? We don't want to fight for dominance. Yes, you do. Feminism fought for the dominance of women. That's why it's a gynocracy. It is the rule of women. So it certainly is about masculine and feminine. And modern women do not want to accept that you abandon your post as a woman to go over to the masculine side and abandon what the feminine side is. We just are independent. It went from a need to a want. You always need men. I don't know what's going to take. You always need men, but women always need men, directly or indirectly. She either need men directly or she need the system of men. Because if the grid go down, she not going to look to her girlfriend and bring it back up. She going to look to male leadership to bring it back up. Right? Right. And male leadership is what Black Lives Matter as an organization was missing, because if they had competent male leadership, we wouldn't have had this incident, this situation where they stole all the money that was given to them from the Black community to help the Black community. It was Black female leadership that did that. Remember that. So we have a petition. The link is in the description box. Please sign, please share, please contribute. I want to get over 3,000 signatures so that we can do what is necessary and get the wheels turning to hold Black Lives Matter accountable for their misdeed. And I want you to sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Is this a situation of masculinity and femininity? Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.